door this tough? They must be storing something good in there.
Yeah, guns, armor, probably some ammunition too. Honestly, Kemp ain't that much of a mystery.
You're thinking too small, Murph. I'd put money on the Protectorate stashing treasure inside. A whole pool of bits enough to swim in.
It's a constabulary, not a bank. And certainly not some kind of gold-filled swimming hole. Besides, these Protectorate lack imagination. Never had an original thought wasn't written down for them first. Like I told you before, it's probably just guns. I'd guess you're one such person. And a wrong one, as we've learned in dealing with this malicious contraption of a door.
We've tried everything short of skipping a ship through that door to get inside. Though, come to think of it, maybe that's not such a bad idea.
I'd love to see the quartermaster's face after turning her lamps onto that requisition request.
Fine, Skip drives out. Say, maybe we could commandeer one of them tractors out in the field instead. Oh, that could plow through the door.
In case you haven't noticed, we're in the middle of a war, and hard to say whether we're winning or not. Better question is why no one else is treating this like a top priority. Part of being a good soldier is knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. For example, I'm good at shooting wisecracking stooges in the face. Want to see?
Tell him about the bridge, Murph. That'll give perspective.
In any siege, advantage goes to the defenders. Right now, the Protectorate still has control of the bridge to the Vox station. That station is the key to taking Paradise Island. When, Officer Carr ever gets the go-ahead, we need to be ready. Right. With all our new trainees, we've got the numbers. But bodies won't mean diddly without the weapons and equipment hopefully inside that armory.
If there are any weapons at all, I still say it's treasure. This is Eden after all.
You've made your case, Kemp. I'm more interested in hearing the opinion of our new friend here. What do you suppose is in there?
Don't that strike you as a touch simple? And anyway, why would the Protectorate lock up everything they'd need to fight back? Unless they were trying to keep it from an invading force. Saying it aloud's altered my opinion somewhat. Fine, it's possible. I'll grant you.
I don't see it mattering much either way. That door is sealed tighter than a salt tuna can. Nobody's getting through anytime soon.
Oh, really? Why didn't you lead with that?
Ordinarily, I'd question how you came about such a unique skill set. But circumstances being what they are, have at it. Just know we're keeping an eye on you.
I got it. What if we... No, wait. We already tried that. Oh, we could... Nope. Never mind. Tried that too.
Leave me be. I have no interest in dealing with the machinations of you dark marketers today. Have you two come to mock me like your fellow dullards? Perhaps if you rub together your only 2 brain cells, you might even come up with something approaching cutting. No. Wait. You're not some corporate simpleton, are you? On the contrary, you have the manner of an officer about you. Someone who understands the substantive weight of command. Please, allow me to start over. I am Warden Sterling, dedicated servant of the Protector of Arcadia and caretaker of worlds, the Sovereign Henry Varick. I'm not that kind of warden. It's a title of distinction for those who serve in the Protectorate military, short for Warden of the Realm. Manners. How refreshing. And if I did? So you would. But I am of 2 minds on the matter of providing one. You may hold no allegiance to Auntie's choice, but you are not Protectorate either. I think it best we end our conclave here. Be on your way before you draw attention to either of us.
Pay off my bar tab.
Steve Fizzo's made them better with Auntie Cleo's patented mock apple cider.
Don't go into that cheap saloon if you got a lick of gumption. They got no tolerance for it. Why do you think I'm out here? Has nothing to do with my current and very temporary shortage of funds.
blazes did you get in there?
Appreciate your help. These weapons are gonna save lives. On our side, anyway.
Huh. Guns after all. Most of these irons look pretty old-fashioned, too. Bit lackluster, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's real sad how our trainees will have the armaments to defend us now. I swear, Kemp, sometimes I wonder about you. I'd say you've earned that lead pusher.
Thanks for all your help. We'll put in a good word for you with the higher-ups first chance we get.
Highest scintilla of success so elude me? Is it my destiny to fail? I do not seem to compare unfavorably to others.
No signs of corrosion. Exhaust manifold still warm. Come on, baby. I can't help you if you don't tell me what's wrong. You just stopping by to admire the mines, or is there something I can help you with? Only becomes a problem if the objects start talking back. Make my job a whole lot easier if they would, though. I should have pegged you for an advertiser. You got that slick sort of look to you. Guessing this is for the war effort, right? Good soldiers start the day with purpleberry crunch and whatnot. All right then. What are you promoting and how much will it cost me? That's oddly wholesome of you. Or secretly conniving. But no, can't risk getting anything on this sensitive equipment. It's already busted, and I'd rather not make it worse. See this system here? It deploys extreme countermeasures against overhead attacks in the form of aerial explosives, oft referred to as sky mines by those who prefer brevity. However, the whole thing is currently non-operational. Some problem with the lifting mechanism. No lift means no sky mines. No sky mines means the enemy can blow in like a bad sail, and we'll all be passing in our bits before you can say, gee, nice weather we're having today. Not unless your talent for interruption matches your knowledge of lifting mechanisms? Truth is, maybe I could use some help. But if you mention this conversation to anyone, I will deny it ever took place. I'll be over there if you need me. Way over there. Should clear the blast radius at that distance. All right, so you got her working. Bully for you. No, sorry, you're right. You did me, and all of Fairfield, a good turn here. Just thought I'd feel more relieved when the launcher was working again. There's just this weight in my chest won't loosen. Worry gunking up my inner workings. Protectorate could launch an attack from that Vox station anytime. What if the mines aren't enough? Why do you think I was so twisted up about the launcher? I know I can be brusque. The word unpleasant's also been bandied about before. Yeah, I'm a real piece of work. Maybe that's why we worked well together. Here, managed to cobble some frags together from a damaged mine earlier. Who knows? Might get you out of a pinch one of these days. And seeing how expertly you worked, you may as well take this armor modification too. I'm sure you'll have an easier time installing it than I would.
That must be the greenhouse. You know, one where that Emily is supposed to be moving stolen goods.
Moon Man character of yours, is he some kind of off-world deity?
No, just sort of a mascot.
I see. So, is it Auntie that you give your undying and unquestioning loyalty to, then?
Not exactly. I mean, Auntie is cunning and bold. I don't have a single bad thing to say about her. At least not out here in public. You know what I mean?
For once, I know exactly what you mean.
simply not credulous enough to accept this is where I've ended up. Doing the work of at least 3 lackeys. Or a full half-dozen automechs, all by my lonesome. I'd welcome you, would-be consumer, but we are not a retail operation. Please visit the various consumer locations around Fairfield for all your purchasing needs. I have far too many claims on my time to be able to cater to the curious at the moment. I was meant to have help, but they lacked the barest amount of gray matter it takes to keep from getting locked up by excessive corporate malfeasance. So, I'm on my own here, breaking my back, trying to buttress all these vines on top of all my other jobs. Oh, the bits I wouldn't pay for some of those mechs the Protectorate used to work this place. So, is there anything else, or can I get back to work? Quite the setup, ain't it? Before we took Fairfield, Auntie's Choice didn't have anything like this. Every kind of plant we've got was made to thrive in a chemical vat. But the Protectorate grows all their greens the old-fashioned way, with water and soil and actual fertilizer. I can't decide if it's adorably quaint or just plain daft. Then again, they all only have one job, so they have the time to indulge in all those sorts of archaic whimsies. Damn lucky Crabble copulators. Research mostly, some wholesale, and as the base for some small batch, highly exclusive, limited edition retail runs. Though I expect word any day that the big brains in R&D will have tweaked and twisted these plants so they're better than nature. Then we push the new product on the market. And my contract says I get 0.003427% of net after development, testing, packaging, advertising, and distribution costs. So you know, this is a pretty big deal for me. Really? Feel you're entitled to that information, do you? Nah, it's only a crime if you get caught. And you only get caught if you cause enough trouble that excessive corporate malfeasance has no choice but to haul you in. So long as you respect their boundaries, keep the right palms greased, and apply a bit of discretion, it's easy enough to do just about anything you need done. But since the original crew we sent here couldn't handle those 3 simple rules, it does so happen I have an opening for a well-paid accomplice. Interested? I'm part of Sub Rosa. We're a group of merchants, information brokers, and commodity traders who deal outside the systems most folk are confined by. We're the best way to get things done in anti-space if you're looking for profit. Want to buy it, sell it, move it? We've got someone to do it for you. Pah, they were rubes, nitwits, dolts so lacking in faculties that they couldn't handle the minuscule, and by that I mean damn tiny, amount of discretion this job requires. They had to be dealt with so we could all get back to work. And now that I'm here, things will be running right smoothly. So, long as your brain pan's filled with more than a half-dead sprat spinning on a rusty wheel, I absolutely guarantee this is a no-risk venture. Well, isn't that just wonderful? I had no suspicion when you walked through my door that you'd help resolve the last of the morass Paradise Island has become for us. And all we need you to do is access Quartermaster Cardos's terminal and scrub any Spectrum vodka from her ledgers. It's already been resold, so having it in her system could become problematic. Expunge it, and I get you some bits, and the friendship of Sub Rosa all over the system. You get me? Because we are the black market in Arcadia. Odds are, at some point, you're going to need something you just can't get legally. Then you'll be thrilled we're associated. Sub Rosa feeds that appetite to not just survive, but to thrive. And that's taking all of us places. We're more than simple opportunists. We are opportunistically driven. Trust me, for both short-term benefits and long-term prospects, you want to be our friend. It'll probably be nothing. She's just a sergeant, not someone who has any real pull. And I've already made arrangements with everyone who matters. So, if she catches you, about the worst she can do is a switch on the rest. And I'll be waiting here with your bits.
This paradigm of yours, or sovereign, or whatever, does it really provide everything you...
We are provided everything we need, not everything we want.
There's a difference?
You need what you need, but you don't need what you want. I suppose it's a subtle distinction.
Trust me, I need my Auntie's Choice Sprat Crisps. No way you can eat just 100.
Protectorate folks must have been bored out of their skulls before we showed up. Now life in Fairfield's a real shindig. Well, except for the handful of hullheads who couldn't accept this place as under new management. We sure fixed them. Boy, damn right we did. Just need to keep reminding myself, these camp drones are an anti-asset now.
Marginal improvements, still improvement, I suppose.
Trainee Lindell, be so kind as to remind us all what the first rule of the range is.
Guns are weapons, not toys.
And do we aim weapons at colleagues or at our own unprotected upper stories, even in jest? Hint, we do not. Some mistakes cost more than others. Not much to be gleaned from taking a bullet in the brain pan. My kind of ruthless attitude may serve on the battlefield, but not on my range. I'm to see these trainees through to graduation, not into an early grave. The soldiers before you are former Protectorate subjects, mainly of the farming variety. No knowledge of combat. Scarce experience wielding anything deadlier than a wrench. They're accustomed to being told what to do, when to do it, and even how to think. A lifetime of habitual servitude is not broken in a day. I'm only responsible for familiarizing them with the weapons they will come to rely on in future. However, having observed them on the range, they fail every hurdle, but keep getting back up. I'd say that speaks to an admirable resilience. Or stupidity. Difficult to say which. I'm not one to idle in the path of a good faith effort to accelerate education. The faster we can get more soldiers in the field, the better. There's just one problem. I don't know you. So, respectfully, I must ask, what do you feel qualifies you to give instruction to my recruits? I've never heard of such an area of study. Well played. I'll admit to telling the odd lie here or there to boost flagging spirits. Attention trainees, guns down. That means you too, Simpson. We have a guest who has a few words to share.
You have something to say to us? Wait, I know this one. Low overhead and competitive prices.
Consider your fellow troopers as siblings in arms, trustworthy, reliable. They are not, as we have discussed, meat shields.
All right. Do seem to recall a discussion like that now that you mention it.
Yes, and a corporate ladder means there's always somewhere greater to reach. Now, if Auntie's faith in you is not misplaced, then prove it, trainees! Weapons at the ready! And fire! Well done, trainees! Well done! It appears your words have had their intended effect. Oh, thank law. The trainees seem quite taken with you, too. As I suspect they would riot if I let you leave without a reward. Please, accept this revolver with Auntie's thanks. Plan willing, I will have as much success deploying your wisdom with my next batch of recruits. Good shot, Trainee Lindell. Very good. Nicely done.
Pleasure not doing business with you.
Spare me your sales pitch.
You'd make a great lower manager.
Gonna need a bigger storeroom for all these orders.
Let me guess. Gun keeps jamming, armor don't quite fit snug as you like. State your division and I'll get you outfitted, quick and proper, or your next provision's free. If you're not with a specific division, I'm supposed to take down a name before offering my wares. I'll just make it up for expediency's sake. All bits spend the same to me. As Chief Replenishment Officer, it's my privileged duty to furnish our brave troops with all of their wartime essentials. You could say I put the ration in liberation. Tell me what you need, and I'll do my ample best to supply you. Those hoople heads. First they botched their work up here, now the Grove. If there were medals for incompetence, they'd be well decorated. Well, I thank you for helping them out. Sorry you had to go out of your way. What do you need this time? Good eye. Oh, I'd say they're better than nice. Got more armor than a hammer claw, but better flight handling than the old clunkers we used to stock. If things had turned out differently, it might be someone else standing here, while I'd be off piloting one of those beauties. Don't have the aptitude for flight, apparently. But this role suits me fine. I like the upward mobility, in the metaphorical business sense, I mean. What? She'll start bleeding fuel during ascent, if not worse. I'd best go and take a quick gander, just in case. Thanks for the tip. She looks all right. Mechanics must have already gotten to the issue. I wonder if that's why Artley was here the other day. And over there, you see, the fuselage has been modified to endure the pressure of repeated entries, which is... but listen to me blathering on. Tell me what you need, and I'll do my ample best to supply you. As a friendly reminder, all sales are final, especially ammunition.
Everyone's cut out for life in an anti-encampment. It's intense, but only 3 to attend, and we sleep in shifts. Cot's comfy enough once the adrenatime burns off.
welcome, welcome. See anything you like? Well, if it isn't a new face in Fairfield. What I meant to say is that we now have the new improved Purple Berry Crunch. Now with 10% more flavor. Or was it crunch? Of course. Though I must also apologize for my inappropriate courtesy a moment ago. You're here for delectable discountables, not my pointless observations. Anyway, let's try this again. Welcome to More Perfect Goods, a proud Auntie's Choice franchise. How can I improve your day? I've been working the store going on a few weeks now. Got promoted shortly after Auntie's Choice liberated Fairfield. Still finding my stride with all the marketing suavities, as you witnessed. Advertising's been a right struggle to get a hold of, much to my chagrin. Well, advertising is an essential part of my business. But I haven't got any new products to advertise. Just the same stock I had yesterday. And the day before that. According to the guide, in situations such as this, I'm to consult my marketing department for new copy. Except I don't have one of those either. I didn't want to seem discourteous by asking. I still sometimes forget this isn't the Protectorate. Maybe I will put in the request. That'll sure show some initiative. Thanks for all your help. Now, is there anything I can do for you? Thanks for noticing. All part of the presentation, of course. Think success, present success, be success. It'd be a mite tricky for anyone to swipe something when I'm standing right here. Nothing gets past these peepers. I'm sure you'll find something that'll fit your liking.
These incessant jingles over the loudspeakers. Do they ever cease?
Nope. You'll probably hear them in your dreams, if you haven't already.
Hello again. You get that inventory issue sorted? How grand. That officially mops up the last of the mess from the buffoons that came before me. And, as promised, my good fortune is also your good fortune. And while this might be a tad fewer bits than you were hoping for, remember, you've also made allies that you'll find all across Arcadia. Just keep watching for paintings of a stylish yellow rose with a split black circle near the middle. Like the one you passed on your way in. Find that rose, and you find Sub Rosa.
watching around.
Ectoplasm. Wait. Nope. Just taro excrement. Good. Heavens, Auntie, you scared the living daylights out of me. Shouldn't sneak up on a man like that. Good way to earn a bullet betwixt the eyes. Could be a little of both, I'll grant you. I've been so wrapped up in my business, I'd barely notice a ship dropping out of the sky if it didn't land on me. Guess I should apologize for all that hullabaloo before. Just mistook you for another unfleshly manifestation. Look, I know how it sounds, like I'm a few crabbles short of a hurt, but just hear me out. It all started the other night. Saw a personage leaving the greenhouse, late. Figured it for Emily, but when I asked her about it, she didn't know what I was talking about. Happened again the next night. Gave chase that time, but lost them hereabouts. I turned a corner and they'd up and vanished. More or less. Maybe I'm not telling it right, but believe you me, it was downright uncanny. Strangest part is that foodstuffs have also been disappearing from the greenhouse since we took Fairfield. You think it's all connected? I've knocked on doors, peeped a few windows, respectfully, mind you. And I ain't spied anything more exciting than a chair. But then, a being of pure information probably wouldn't linger on this plane any longer than necessary. Too tiresome, would be my guess. Well, maybe. I still don't know all the particulars, yet. But it's one theory. I certainly won't say no to having a fresh set of lamps on the scene. Just be careful. Hate to see you disappeared like that foodstuffs.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. I forget. You invaders are not raised on the same diet of knowledge as we in the Protectorate. How small your uneducated mind must be. Trapped in worthless superstition. Perhaps you should have brought that friend with you. It was unwise to come alone. Of course, I know why you're really here. You have come to exact retribution for our larceny at your greenhouse. The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. I am merely quivering with rage over this insulting interrogation. And that scent you so subtly pointed out is the aroma of noble effort. Foreign to you, I'm sure.
Thought I saw you disappear in here. Oh. Seems I've stumbled into quite the shindig. You lot been hiding out in here all this time? Touch cramped, ain't it? You've got me there. Nothing enigmatical about a trio of Protectorate stowaways.
The more I listen to you invaders blathering, the more convinced I become of the need to rid our fair island of your wretched stupidity by any means necessary.
Not very copacetic, are you folks?
If this exchange is not to your liking, I can accommodate you with a bullet instead. And if I deny your assessment? Ordinarily, I would feel confident about having the superior number. But as you pointed out, our condition is rather deleterious at the moment. Very well. With so many invaders yet to slay, I would be remiss to relinquish our lives in such an unworthy duel. We surrender. For now.
That was some slick talking. Can't believe you got them to surrender without firing a shot. I thought for sure we'd have to blast our way out of here. Guess I had this mystery all wrong. A small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. I appreciate that. Never really talked about the direction of my thoughts on this topic with no one before. Wow, it's like I'm lighter. Thank you for everything. Truly.
This is but a momentary setback.
Yet you see fit to keep me in a constant state of consternation. With each unauthorized act, you jeopardize our hold of Fairfield.
Yes, but you must understand, the Protectorate citizenry is a hair's breadth from defection. Within the week, I'm certain.
Certain? Like the week prior and the week before that. Impressive foresight you wield. Should apply to join the Order of the Ascendant.
It would be difficult enough to convert the stubborn populace without your soldiers' constant ill-advised forays.
Enough! Your yipping reminds me of my 2 old canids. I loved those canids. You, on the other hand, are trying my patience. We don't want to try Auntie's patience, do we?
No, Auntie.
Yes, I thought not. Now, unless you care to see what life in the lower rungs looks like, you will both of you cease your foolish maneuvering immediately. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Auntie.
Good. See that it is done. I will brook no more disappointments. And while you're at it, you might want to look into your security situation, Commander. I'm not accustomed to an audience when addressing my subordinates.
Who in the void? Eavesdropping on Auntie's choice business is like to get a body shot for spine. Though you're not wanting for moxie. I'll give you that.
Hold a moment, Car. When opportunity comes visiting, perhaps it's better not to riddle it full of holes. Our new compatriot may be of assistance.
A surprisingly good point, especially from you. She only forbade us using our own personnel. Be a whole other matter were a stranger to happen to aid one of us. But which? Well, you seem an observant sort, so I expect you'll tire of Milver Street's bluster soon enough. Come see me before agreeing to whatever absurdity he proposes. Unlike him, I have some work actually befitting your time. I'll be waiting.
Alone at last. I never thought she'd leave. Now then, allow me to introduce myself. I am D.B. Milver Street, Minister of Marketing, Duke of Demographics, Commercial Condottiere, President of Promotional Material. Tell me, do you believe in signs? I sell to the gullible and impressionable. You, however, seem a mite too clever to buy what I'm peddling. No, friend, I've got something better in mind for you. I do not believe in signs. I believe in opportunities. Right now, at this moment, you and I have an opportunity to save countless lives. But I'm hardly the type to beg and ask for nothing in return. Tell me, what do you desire of this island? I've some faint recollections of the fuzz beneath my hat. Perhaps I saw such a name amidst my perusal of the Protectorate domicile assignment records. The record room is in this building. You have my permission to peruse at your leisure. But surely a go-getter like yourself has more ambitious goals on our island. Share them with me, and we can brave them together. Tisk, tisk. I appreciate your devotion to remaining mum, but I simply cannot work with a freelancer who I do not intimately understand.
With that hat? Absolutely not.
Is this a bad time to mention I can read lips? Ambitious, aren't we? Easily the best protected location on Paradise Island. Hardly a place for a stroll. But if you assist me, I promise to get you inside. Better yet, helping me shall result in our saving dozens, no, hundreds of lives. Your conscience shall be renewed. You can't blame a body for wanting to practice, can you? Fine. I'll give it to you straight then. Auntie may demand Carr and I do nothing, but for each moment I remain inactive, dozens fall in meaningless combat. I seek a persuasive method of alleviating this conflict. The Protectorate utilizes a procedure known as mental refreshment to ease the temperament of wayward subjects. The Ministry of Accuracy contains vital information about the process and where it is performed. This is the prize I seek. I previously sent a grafted soldier, Trooper Sealong, to retrieve said information, but I have not heard from her in some time. Consequently, I must presume the worst. Protectorate subjects willingly submit themselves to a kind of mental reset designed to bring them closer to the Protectorate ideal. But I have reason to believe that their system is less rigid than Protectorate leadership would claim. It's ripe for exploitation. Is there a more beautiful phrase? grafted soldiers were the subjects of the Enhanced Soldier Program, so named as its intent was to utilize nature to enhance a soldier's natural talents. Unfortunately, the program resulted in many casualties, and what few successes we had were literally short-lived. I may be a motivator of persons, but I'm also something of a realist. Our grafted soldiers are capable at their apex, but many degrade before accomplishing themselves. I chose Trooper Sealong to grant her the opportunity to be of use, but the grafting program was shuttered with good reason. Best to be thorough. You should go talk to Carr. Perhaps when you hear what kind of violence she wants you to perpetrate, you'll see the worth of my proposal.
Watch out for that Auntie Cleo. I know she don't look it, but she's more dangerous than she seems. Even the whole of Spacer's Choice couldn't outmaneuver her.
You there. Still got work if you're looking. You're here early. I expected you'd be on the receiving end of Milver Street's bluster until close to the end of time. Happy that ain't the case, as I can make use of you. I'm Officer Babylon Carr, head of aggressive acquisitions and persons elimination on Paradise Island. Let no one say I can't be official when circumstances merit. Now, not to say I question the presence of a wayward sightseer in the midst of a war-torn waste, but it might be safer for us both if I knew your purpose. Afraid that don't hold water in Auntie's Choice. Something afoul with your urinary tract? Your supervisor should be the first to know. Forthrightness deserves forthrightness. Would look mightily poor upon me if I let a protectorate backstabber gallivant about without my knowing it. Don't you agree? Keen as I am on a dagger between the ribs, I ain't working with someone obfuscating their aims. The Vox, eh? Bent on bloody self-destruction, I could just have my troops dispatch you, save you the effort. Although if you were keen on continuing to draw breath, perhaps you and I could broker a deal. There are protectorate vitals need bled. You could do the bleeding. This fine settlement is Fairfield. Once in the Protectorate's grasping claws, now Auntie's newest foothold on Paradise Island. When we arrived, it was thick with yaysayers, a hair's breadth away from sacrificing themselves to their old masters. Now they've seen the golden glow of the free market. Entertaining as it is to root out dozens of entrenched, suicidally murderous subjects, I'd take the efficiency of capitulation any day. Only thing not suspicious in this life is when a body points a gun at you. You can rest assured I don't expect these turncoats are as true as their word. We keep them away from heavy machinery and weapons, and we make them earn their keep. Through that, any who ain't truly converted will learn, sooner or later. Unusual refers to every turncoat and is not a halfway strong enough phrase. Try gormless cretins who can not so much as wipe their running noses without begging permission. Don't know if there's a DeVries here, not my department. Milver Street befriends the ex-subjects, keeps tabs on them. Ask him. Why are you looking for them? Who are they to you? So happens that I know the feeling from the receiving end. Bevy of ex-lovers who took my losing interest personal. Romance is a transaction, same as anything. If the deal's no good anymore, walk. And if someone tries to cheat you, make them regret it. Ah, I haven't broken an idealist over my knee in ages. Open your ears wide, friend, for this is a whetstone well scoured. Efficiency saves human lives. Engage a detachment in open combat. Expect dozens dead on both sides. Kill their commander beforehand, and their soldiers will rout without a shot fired. Such is war. Milver Street, for all his book learning doesn't seem capable of understanding such. I hope you're a sharper sort than he, willing to do what must be done. My employer would assuredly be filled with wrath if it were my forces I were committing. But enlisting a freelancer on my own dime is hardly committing any forces. If you fail, I'll be out nothing, and Auntie shall be none the wiser. And if you succeed, I can't be blamed if my plans came to fruition on their own. I want the Protectorate war effort exsanguinated. You want into the Vox Relay. You help me, I help you. There's a particular holding we shelled early in the war, name of Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center. Deserves a raising for the length of its blasted name alone. My scouts report recent Protectorate attempts to bring it back to functioning. I need the place sabotaged, lest Automechs return to aid the Protectorate war effort in droves. Should note, the ministers like to take our working together as a personal affront. Aid me, and I suspect he'll rescind any offer he may have made to you. Could be direct. Feign that you're an assistant of some kind, though you'd have to have some know-how regarding engineering. But a simpler path would be paying a visit to the Ministry of Accuracy, liberating some credentials. Yaysayers ain't capable of suspecting a piece of paper. Certainly could. I wouldn't shed a tear on behalf of those drones, but the Protectorate is used to losing its people, and there'd no doubt be a replacement crew in a week's time. The repair center itself needs to be permanently put out of commission. Anything else is temporary. Do you suggest that our good minister has lost patience with playing fair and now seeks to delve into the oily recesses of brainwashing? Oh, for shame. He's devoted to his half measures. I'll give him that. But he wouldn't have to wheedle and connive if he knew directness. Milver Street's grinning manipulation won't earn nothing but more of our own dead. Work with me. Think all you like. Speak to Milver Street if he ain't already stuck his hooks in you. I'm confident you got the spine for what must be done.
Watch yourself, friend.
Commander, there is a 98.7% chance that hunting Agent DeVries will require greater amounts of ammunition than you currently possess. Ammunition can be purchased at vending machines or crafted at a workbench using materials like this collection of scrap metal and powder.
I can also help you craft items in a pinch when we're out together. Most won't even explode on you. Can't get that Andy's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander? Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit. What did you have in mind?
What's all this talk I'm always hearing about middle and lower management?
Well, the middle managers assign all the hard work to the lower managers, who pass that work on down to the bottom rungers. And the bottom rungers work just hard enough so they won't get their contracts canceled by the lower managers, who are fine with it as long as they get their bonuses signed off.
It all sounds so pointless and horrible.
It gets results. We're here, aren't we?
This new corporate life is all so confusing for us Protectorate folk. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure, shoot.
Thank you.
Are you gonna ask your question?
I did. When I asked if I could ask a question. That was my question. We don't ask too many questions in the Protectorate, so it felt good to ask one.
Juliana. Even though I now rank among the Protectorate's foes, I hoped you would return to me. Every night I would sneak out of Fairfield, despite the danger, desperate to find you. Hoping you would see fit to join your wife. Yet no one has heard from you since you went to the Skycutter facility. Not in 2 weeks. I can only assume the worst. I don't think I can stay in this town any longer. Perhaps if I return to suffer the Protectorate's justice, I shall at least learn what became of you. And if you are gone, I hope I shall be executed. Then at least we shall be together.
Sure has some cheek putting the Earth Directorate symbol on her wall after everything she's done.
My cover story has worked. I am safely ensconced at the Vox station, assigned to the lowly Information Input and Retrieval Department. Seems a colony so certain of its absolute control over its subjects can be less than rigorous when it comes to security. I was able to easily widen out a space behind the walls of the main control room to establish my safe room, giving me unfettered access to the communication transfer conduits. I have hacked into their system downstream from the security protocols, so I am able to infiltrate their entire system with them being none the wiser. While I have little doubt as to the success of our mission, trepidation still gnaws at me, though I cannot say why. Perhaps it is simply the normal mission commencement jitters. I thought my duties complete. Information gathered, reports filed, preparations made. I'd even created a fictitious identity and work transfer to Horizon Point Station well ahead of schedule, in order to keep anyone from tracking my movements upon commencing the mission. All that was left was the waiting. Or so I thought. Then, troubling information came to light. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the equations. While I don't understand all of it, I understand enough to know it is the truth. And I am the only one in a position to act upon it. So it means the betrayal of my team and the duty I swore to uphold. But can I? I did it. They are all dead. And I am still alive. I had not expected this. I had prepared no alibi, and so felt assured my ruse would be discovered and I'd not have to carry this burden. But the complete gullibility of the Protectorate subjects cannot be underestimated, it seems. My threadbare excuse of my grievous wounds as pitchball injuries was accepted without question. I can only keep telling myself it had to be done. Something which becomes harder by the day as the rift anomaly grows in the sky. But it was all part of the plan. Wasn't it?
I can't believe this. Void me if I understand any of this. DeVries sold us out for what? Because of a few equations? Some dots and lines on a graph? Good fucking law. I mean, she wasn't a damn scientist. She said it herself. She didn't understand all of it, the math. So what was she thinking? Oh, yeah? And how many of those colleagues went and blew up a space station on account of it? Damn it! I never wanted to talk about this. I wanted to just leave it alone. Told myself, no point in dredging up the past. Should have known it wouldn't rest. DeVries may have saved me on Triangular, but I wasn't the only one looked up to her. Lots of the other recruits talked about her too, back at the academy. We all thought she was the pinnacle of what an agent should be. Tough, smart, any job she couldn't get done, and better and faster than everyone else. Inspired all of us. Reckon so. It's might embarrassing how much worship we all put on her name. You put a tool in my hand, I would have built monuments to her. Figured my own career could be just that. Doing for others what she done for me. Never imagined I'd actually get to work with her. Me, some nobody from Triangular. And then she betrayed us. Tried telling myself it was an accident, but now we've got the cold, hard proof it wasn't. Law only knows why she trusted the Order's numbers. The Order of the Ascent is just another sect of the Order of Scientific Inquiry. The grand plan and all that used to be part of the Protectorate before their big falling out. believe they can predict the future or some such, but nice plan-abiding folks don't kill for the betterment of their cause. I can't believe the Order plotted our murder. But 10 years ago, I would have said the same about DeVries. I mean, she always struck me as so pragmatic, real sensible-like. Never figured she'd go all in on predictions from a bunch of monks. Used to think they were good people trying to do right by their beliefs. But if they put the idea in DeVries' head to leave us for dead, it might be time I reassess that opinion. I don't take issue with folks clinging to whatever keeps them afloat. Math, science, the grand architect, void, even capital. I know how most colonies run. But when those beliefs start to require hurting others, even killing them, that's worth questioning their virtue. That's different. Everything we've done so far has been for the mission, to save everyone. You forget we're on the same side here, Commander? I'm not the only one DeVries wronged. She robbed you of 10 years of your life. Don't you want recompense for that? Exactly. We get answers, then she gets a bullet. Everyone goes home happy.
Whatever her plans, she started putting them in place while stationed undercover at the Vox Relay. Our next point of order ought to be getting in there. Reckon there's got to be someone on the island who can help us with that. Let's keep asking around. Friendly like.
Greetings again. You have my undivided attention. What's on your mind? Carr wishes to use dubious military intelligence to justify a foolhardy assault, and she's treating you as her personal courier. It concerns me that she's asked you for assistance. Surely you're not considering aiding her. Anything you desire, so long as you agree to aid me instead. An opportunity to attain my goals and stick my finger in Babylon's eye? Today's as grand as when I led in the performance department showing of Life of a Salesman. Find your way to the Ministry of Accuracy. And if Trooper Sealong is still alive, do send her back here to debrief. She's still contracted to us after all.
My commanding manager gave me great advice. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean the latrine. Moral of the story? Never lean. Aside from the stale chow, ubiquitous mud, contract anxiety, and pervasive dread that hostilities might resume at any moment, camp life is just splendid.
soldier. That is the best damn news I've heard all day. Make sure to collect your reward at the bounty terminal if you haven't already. No use in leaving well-earned bits on the table. Better now that you've thinned the herd of drones. Or would you call that a swarm? Either way, seems all I can do is stand here and observe. Maybe that'll get me back into Car's good graces. Or maybe not. Merciful law, is this? Tell me you did not steal my performance review, soldier. We could be court-martialed for even looking. No, I am not gonna look. I'll wait for the reviews to be distributed along the proper channels, and... Oh, hell. This is worse than the last one. Promotion denied? No, this has to be a mistake. How can Officer Carr claim I don't understand supply and demand regarding shifting market urgency? That's unfair. And that lowered our burial fees. Carr clearly doesn't understand my value, but you do. Well, the next review period's right around the corner. Suppose it's never too late to tidy up my reputation. Take this for your trouble. While I learn my lesson, you might as well profit off my shortcomings.
I must say, I have many reservations about this. The Protectorate has always provided for us. For what reason would we forsake such a stable and safe way of life?
Because, friend, with the Protectorate, you're only surviving. With Antes, you'll be thriving.
So your superiors order you to thrive?
No. It's just something you can do on your own. You'll have bosses and employers, but it's up to you to get yourself to the top and make yourself the employer.
I see. And why would I want to do such a thing? Surely my assigned place would provide me with all the necessities of life?
Yes. But you could have more necessities, and even some unnecessaries.
For what reason would I desire material possessions which are, by definition, unnecessary? And while we're on the topic, what are you potentially gaining from recruiting me?
Ah, that's one of the best parts, John. When you sign someone else up, you get a bits bonus.
I see. This free market idea, seemingly not without merit. I'll require some time to ponder this.
Of course, friend.
It's not a totally baseless idea. That should totally be annihilated, just like all capitalist propaganda. Praise the matriarch!
I'll take care of him, Commander.
Blah, blah. Taking care of citizens is developing possible customers. Now come out here yourself and illustrate. Okay, that subject left after the first time we tried talking to him. At least coming out to spot folk like him was easy work.
Enthusiastically neutralizing.
Let me know when you need a distraction. Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Seems nowhere on Paradise Island's going untouched by this war. I'll take fighting raps over living in a surveillance state any day of the week.
Attack strategies.
Priorities. A dereliction of scientific duty to pursue more selfish ambitions. Equations, ignoring the guiding light of our paradigm, which always
Ain't as tough as you thought. Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed!
No, you ain't got what I need. And you can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their pods dropped from the look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt. That obvious, huh? Yeah, I was hoping there'd be something worth harvesting. Something worth the trouble of killing the poor creature. But hope is the father of disappointment. If the occasion calls for it. But I fancy myself something of a biologist. Or, at least I used to. Me and raptidons, we're well acquainted. I know their patterns, behaviors, attacks. Know what gives them an edge around folk who ain't in possession of that knowledge. Which is why I gotta ask, what are you doing here? You're in the middle of a war zone, friend. Anyone who ain't asking questions is instead asking for a bullet in the back. I'm Inez Silung, Auntie's choice. Former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Now, menial troubleshooter. Minister Milverstreet of Fairfield sent me here to retrieve some information. Not my most exciting assignment, but suppose we can't expect much with the stalemate on this island. I'll admit I was eager for some good hunting around here. My graft, needs some bolstering. But if the raps here are as weak as this one, it won't help me none. If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs. Other than punch a hole in my armor, cause Huel at the saloon to yell in consternation, not much, at present. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now. I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones. No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one. She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to, nothing else. But she also ain't quite got the hang of the employment thing. If the graft were an imaginary boo-boo, I wouldn't be in this mess, friend. It's paperwork that's the problem. You looked at the fine print of an employment contract lately? It says any action taken by a worker that could result in impeded work must be approved by the contract holder. Not only would trying to fix my graft impede my work, but it's also financially unviable, unproven, a risky investment. So I'm stuck with a limb that's slowly poisoning me. Could pursue fixing it myself were I out of my contract, but if I attempted to end it, I'd have to waive all employment rights for the next year. That's a non-starter. Let me put it this way. If I was already on the bottom rung, this knocks me clean off and buries me in sand. But I started from nothing before. I could do it again. Maybe. Ain't easy moving between companies, and I wasn't always with Auntie's choice. But that's a story for another time. Get the feeling you will. Wait, before you go, tell me the truth. You're here from Milver Street, right?
Hate to be the bearer of bad news. You seem capable and all, but reckon your boss feels differently if he sent us. Sorry.
Fine. The job's all yours. Reckon I shouldn't be surprised he'd cast me aside. Yet again. If you'll excuse me, I got some words for him.
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's with Auntie's choice.
Entering a confrontational state.
phone call.
Confronting threat.
Commander, watch your vitals!
You sure do go through ammo, don't you? Not to worry, we can always craft us more.
Is it me, or has my ankle been squeaking? You can hear it too, right? Must be the damn rotator again. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Sure, always happy to tool around for a bit.
What did you have in mind? Can't get that Annie's Choice jingle out of my head. Hey, if I start humming it, you do what you gotta. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Great. First around the walls.
Engaging hostile life forms.
The deal is off!
Tetra sure wouldn't want this in the wrong hands. So it's probably exactly what Milk Street's at.
don't much appreciate you undermining my work, Minister. When have I ever not made a go of a job for you, huh? Is it so damn hard to extend a mind of trust?
Calm down. You know well it would not have been necessary had you completed your task in a timely manner.
I'll calm down when you stop braying your little excuses. How about that?
My, such aggression. You scarcely need add hostility to your list of inadequacies,
Ain't so sure you want to work for this imbecile, friend. There's more menial jobs where that came from.
Bad Trooper Sealong, no mind. The individuality encouraged by Auntie's choice sometimes inspires employees to speak out of turn. How has your progress been? Have you acquired what we discussed? Excellent! Pleased that someone in my employ can be relied upon. Here, have one of my finest suits as a token of thanks. May it aid in your capture of hearts and minds.
Again, you gave away my job and told my replacement to send me home. That don't make me wayward, and it sure as shit don't make me unreliable. If this contract weren't staying my hand, I reckon you'd be answering to it right about now.
You mean grant preferential treatment to a subpar contractor? And I suppose the bits for such a procedure shall simply manifest from the ether?
And if I die or leave, how do you reckon failure to retain an enhanced soldier would look to upper management, huh?
Please pay this disgruntled employee no mind. What would she do without Auntie's hand to guide her if she were unemployed? I should think death a preferable alternative.
That's it. I'd rather be a down and outer for the rest of my life than crushed under your counterfeit leather boa boot a second longer. I quit!
What? I have done nothing to deserve such barbaric treatment. This is unheard of, and I might add, you'll not be welcome with an Auntie's choice once more. We'll not take a contract shirker back into our fold.
So you say, but Auntie's choice ain't seen a trooper like me before. You'll regret counting me out. Till then, I hope you choke on your mock apple martinis. And you, I got a proposition for you. Come find me when you're done with this clown.
She will most assuredly regret her decision, most assuredly. Now, if you're quite finished urging others to assault my headwear, let's move on. The acquisition of this information is but the first part of my plan to bring our foes into the fold and to ensure my future. The second is my operation in Westport. I should have known better than to try to bait an individual as savvy as yourself. I shall speak openly then. Bringing Westport to heel will deliver me not only my future, but the tools to aid you in your endeavor to enter the Vox station. Verily, on to business. I've a kit of supplies to aid you, items to cajole or to dissuade. Sabotage the town or sway the citizenry, the choice is yours. Should pose no trouble for a go-getter like you. Westport represents a challenge. The challenge presented by the majority of the Protectorate. Fairfield citizenry were given ample incentive to fold, for they could see the freedom we offer firsthand. But the people of Westport are stubborn enough to risk death for their ideals and cannot be swayed by the lights of Fairfield. If I can convert them, I can convert anyone. Shh, not so loud. The hat can tell when you're questioning it. The people of Westport don't trust me. How can they? I am the enemy. I am the invader. I cannot help these people achieve salvation until I know what it is they yearn for. You are a third party. You're presumably trustworthy. I need you to act on my behalf. perhaps. The kit contains a wide variety of tools, propaganda, equipment, and more than a few confectionaries. Some items may serve as honey, swaying the naysayers to our side. Others are blunt implements, crippling infrastructure to force the refugees toward Fairfield. Slather on a bit of elbow grease and you'll certainly succeed. I'm sure there are kindred spirits in Westport. No one wholly resists Auntie. Excellent! Here's the kit. Advertisement tapes, ambidextrine assorted stimulants, free samples of Purple Berry Crunch, everything you need to wage war on the undecided mind. With that, I shall mark the locale. Begin with the vigilant Hogarth. Motivate him to depart, and his subjects will trot in file behind him woolly cow-like. Now, I'm sure you've asked yourself, for a task so involved, shall the reward be worthwhile? Well, wonder no longer. For the completion of this deed, I'm prepared to offer you an exact replica of my one-of-a-kind, limited production, gentle person's Oxonian. I don't think you understand. The reserve Oxonian is functionally identical to the one I wear. If anything, the replica is likely in better state. I've grown attached to this one and would prefer not to part with it. And really, is anything truly one of a kind? Not from the universal perspective. Then consider yourself officially deputized in the war to further innovation and the free market. Be forewarned. I can only guess at the needs of the denizens of Westport. You must engage with them, gauge their situation. Only then can you motivate them adequately. While I can't say for certain, I strongly suspect not. Westport no longer possesses any strategic value. The Protectorate has no reason to defend a half-sunken town. Still, I would come prepared with anything you think you might require. Paradise Island brims with danger, even if Westport itself seems safe. Do I look like Officer Carr to you? Guns.